So I don't know how this is going to end up playing out, because if anything, I probably could end up just losing my mind and being really angry. But I feel like this is something I want to get off my chest, because it's something that's been really grinding my gears over the last couple of years, but especially this year as it's starting to ramp up. And that is this code war between the NRL and AFL. Now, obviously, two sides have very passionate fan bases and kind of take up different markets to an extent within Australia. Like mostly rugby league is in the base of New South Wales and Queensland and the Eastern Seaboard, whilst AFL takes over Victoria, the rest of the states, and do have some markets in the competing New South Wales and Queensland. But especially this year, it's gotten to the point where just the CEOs are just in this massive dick measuring contest about their sport, and it's just like, can we not? And here's the thing, you can like what you like. That's the whole thing about this. It's like, you can like the NRL and may not like the AFL, and vice versa. That's completely fine. But just this, I think this whole code war thing is just bullshit, just to keep both sports in the presser, because it's just like, who actually cares? Like, I understand people on TikTok do this, but here's the thing, if you're over the age of like 15 going on about the code wars, you need to kind of grow the fuck up. Personally, in my honest take. But especially since this year, it has been picking up, essentially with the NRL being in Vegas. In the advertisements, the NRL basically were making the claim that they were the biggest sport in the country. And obviously with the talks about, the NRL wanting to expand, they want to go into Western Australia, where the AFL kind of don't want that to happen, because obviously Western Australia is very big AFL territory, especially when it comes to the two teams I have over there, the West Coast Eagles and the Fremantle Dockers. Also, another thing was the NRL propaganda that they released about all their stats, which were basically one person uploading stat images and having the other hand on their Mickey. It's just oh my god, mate, we get it. Genuinely, if Peter V'landys could stick his penis into his own arsehole, that's what he'd do. But yeah, obviously after that, then there was comments made by the AFL CEO, Andrew Dillon, in this direct quote saying, "We only really worry about ourselves, and we measure ourselves on the traditional metrics of people turning up to games, people watching, how long they watch for, and how many people play. I call them traditional metrics." To be fair, the first bit about we only really worry about ourselves, yeah, that's neither of them do that. But it's basically showing about stats about NRL's growth or whatever. But yeah, I can kind of understand of that. And then Peter V'landys has come in and said, "The AFL has always looked down their nose at rugby league. They treat us as second-class citizens." It's kind of interesting when NRL considers itself as second-class citizens when it comes to the AFL, when soccer's right there and have actually copped proper shit for decades at this point. But yeah, I remember back in the day, back in the 70s, they actually had a vote on this about the AFL Australia policy. They had to get rid of that. Yeah, it was a tough time. It says, last year, just the premiership matches, the NRL had 154 million viewers compared to the AFL's 140 million. When you add State of Origin international games, we had 187 million viewers to the AFL's 149 million viewers. But then obviously the AFL would just teabag saying, attendance. When I made this video a couple of years ago talking about this and never-ending debate, which basically just ended up being a comment section of people who just read the title and commented, but that's whatever, is that the best way to watch an AFL game is in person, because obviously it's a big, it uses a whole cricket field, and the best way to watch NRL games is on television. Then there's also the thing about Peter V'landys saying the AFL's copying their ideas. It says, "We have a thing called a magic round, and suddenly they hold a gather round," which is interesting because it's definitely not like the Super League been doing Magic Weekend in their competition in England since way before the NRL decided to do it. So it's a kind of, they're copying us, but you're still copying as well. You're not that much better. Then apparently last week, a newspaper in WA called the West Australian said that no one except the Premier wanted an NRL club in WA, and said that there was no hope of succeeding in Western Australia because of how big AFL is over there. But the NRL are saying that these are just dirty tactics. It's just, I don't know, but like I can understand obviously they're trying to get money, they're trying to get more money for them, but I just think it's like really it's like who cares in my opinion. It's like the two sports should be able to coexist. Like it's not like you can pick a sport and then you want death on the other. It's just I just find it really cringy, but it's just going to be something you just got to live with, I suppose. But yeah, what are your guys' thoughts on this Code War thing? Let me know in the comments below. I don't know how good this video will end up being because I feel like it's just me rambling for like the entire time. But yeah, just let me know what you think, and thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you all later.